What's up everyone, and welcome to NerdVana Nexus. It's Brent, your captain on all things nerdy, and this is a series I'm going to call Superpower Breakdown. It's going to be a part of our platform to talk about any and all things superpowers across any and all different kinds of media, whether it be anime, my personal favorite, TV shows, comics, movies, books, and even video games. Today we're talking about one of the more basic superpowers in pop culture, pyrokinesis, the ability to control fire with your mind. Whether it's used for destruction or defense, pyrokinesis is one of those abilities that we all know and probably love. You've most likely seen it across different mediums, but why is pyrokinesis such a staple in pop culture? What does it symbolize, and what characters have made it iconic? Let's get into it, shall we? So first things first, what exactly is pyrokinesis? The word comes from the Greek roots pyro, meaning fire, and kinesis, meaning movement or control. Essentially, it's the ability to control fire through mental power alone. Sounds cool, right? Doing things like making flaming constructs, breathing fire, absorbing fire, creating fire, turning into fire, molding and manipulating fire, and even blowing things up. Pyrokinesis has a variety of applications. However, something as volatile and powerful as fire also has drawbacks. Fire being an innately dangerous element. Handling it recklessly could lead to hurting yourself, like Dabi from My Hero. Aside from that, when up against someone who can use water or even something that can deprive the flames of oxygen, then the pyrokinetic is at a major disadvantage. As well as things that are inherently flame resistant could also give the pyrokinetic some trouble. Now, while we don't have any confirmed reports of people setting things on fire with their mind, pyrokinesis in pop culture is one of those powers that gets explored in some wild and creative ways, and that's what we're going to look at today. As I touched on earlier, there's a variety of applications when it comes to pyrokinesis. You have your basic conjuration of fireballs and flames, and the ability to manipulate the size, shape, and temperature of the flames. At higher levels of mastery, however, a pyrokinetic can begin to do some extremely crazy things, such as becoming fire itself, manipulating shockwaves from heat alone, and even completely bypassing the elemental disadvantage against water by making the temperature so hot that it pretty much evaporates the water. An insane usage of pyrokinesis is a character called Sho Kusakabe from Fire Force, and I suppose I should put a spoiler warning. You have been warned. So if you want to skip ahead, I'll mark the things with like a chapter since this is the end of this section. 3, 2, 1, I suppose. Alright, those of you still here either don't care or have already met Sho. So pretty much Sho's ability is called Sever Universe. And essentially how that works is Sho slows down time by literally lowering the heat of a given area, and by doing so, it lowers the temperature of the universe expansion in that same area, which essentially slows down time, making him move faster. So to other people, he's literally teleporting. I'm pretty sure I got that right, but if I'm wrong, I'm sure you guys will let me know. That's a pretty crazy use of pyrokinesis, isn't it? Once again, like I mentioned earlier, while being loaded with power, pyrokinesis also has its fair share of weaknesses and limitations as well. With the obvious one being things that can snuff out the flames, like water, lack of oxygen, sand and dirt and things of the like. A different limitation is the emotional aspect of pyrokinesis. Oftentimes, the control and accuracy of one's flames is directly linked to their mental and emotional state. Being too angry can make the fire burn hotter than the user is used to, while being distracted can cause the flames to dance uncontrollably, hurting friends and foes alike. While hurting friends is bad, improper use and not being physically strong enough to withstand one's own flames could also badly burn the user as well. Once again, a spoiler warning comes up, so you could also skip ahead to the next part. 3, 2, 1. Alright, let's go. So in the anime My Hero Academia, there is a character known by the alias Dabi, although his real name is Toya Todoroki. Due to the fact that his thermal resistance threshold was relatively low due to his genetics on his mother's side, as she's an ice user if I'm not mistaken, he burned himself, causing immense pain. The intense training and the emotional anguish that he withstood to make his father happy backfired, and literally scorched the poor child, proving that 1. emotional state is very important, and 2, he couldn't withstand his own flames, which literally caused him to hurt himself permanently. Some well-known users of pyrokinesis are Ace and Sabo, and by extent Luffy from One Piece. We have Ninja from Naruto, more specifically the Uchiha and Sarutobi clan. There's also Pyro from X-Men. Firebenders, and the Avatar by extension. Pyrus attribute Bakugan, from Bakugan of course.
Ability card, activate! Boosted Dragon!
Fire type Pokemon, and any Pokemon that can learn fire type moves. We got Charizard, Infernape, you know the drill. The Flame Princess from Adventure Time. Fire magic users from Black Clover and Fairy Tail, more specifically characters like Marileona and Natsu Dragmio.
Also, if I kick the bucket in a place like this, those idiots will think they can laugh at me!
Jake Long from Jake Long the American Dragon, Firestorm, Heatwave, and the Ashen One, and the Tarnished from Dark Souls and Elden Ring respectively, just to name a few. While pyrokinesis does seem quite basic initially, it can be wielded quite well. I personally would be okay with having this power, as I feel I could bring pyrokinesis to its full potential, and in retrospect to my current intelligence and attributes of course. I also want to start ranking these powers, with 1 being the weakest and 5 being the strongest, and I'd give pyrokinesis a solid 4 out of 5. This power is one of the most exhilarating powers in fiction, and it shows no signs of slowing down, with all the creative uses new authors and creators are coming up with. What do you think? And do you have a favorite character who wields flames? Let me know in the comments. If you enjoyed this deep dive into pyrokinesis, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and let me know what power you'd like to see me do next. Until next time, this is your captain speaking, signing out.